Ta-da! Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and berries. Today is Thirsty Thursday. I got my Java sensation. I love my morning coffee, part with this big coffee mug that Bo gave it to me. And I hug it in the morning because it keeps me warm. It's chilly down here in my basement office. By the way, today is going to be partially brought to you by Accelerated Global Connections. And for those who don't know, Accelerated Global Connections, AGC for short, is a networking organization that was started here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and then online version of it spread out to other states in the country. And they used to do, I think, 6 events a month here locally, 6 of them. And now they're like 5 or something because of the pandemic thing, but they're still doing it just like that. And here it is, how you can get a hold of them. It's right there. It's AGC. JoinAGC.com is how you can get their website. JoinAGC.com. That's the story, Morning Glory. Now let's go find my friend, Mr. Bo Young. Hi.
Hey, buddy.
What's Mr. Young going to do when he gets old?
I don't know. I don't even want to think about
young. That's one thing very nice about having that name is no matter how old you get, you're still young.
Yeah, and I'm trying to hold on to that youth, you know. Being a mid-40s guy, I'm going to stay young.
You might as well, because, in an infinite time frame, we're pretty young, even if we're 100 or 500.
You're actually right. As
usual, in the world of eternity, we're all pretty young.
Yeah. Hey, I wanted to plug, I wanted to just say a quick comment on that on AGC, right? That's what brought us together. Accelerated Global Connections has created a global connection between Mr. MagicBrad and I. And a shout out for the AGC versary, right? 3 years yesterday, I believe.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
And it's just amazing that if you think about an organization that started just shy pre-pandemic, and then in an event organization to do that and have survived the last couple of years with engaged members, and it's a testament to the leadership in the whole group. It's a testament to Travis and the members themselves that say there's value here, right? So big shout out to them. I'm glad because they are why you and I have talked.
Yeah, they've got a unique format to their multiple event styles. And oh, by the way, look at this. Dun dun dun.
Hey, Mr. Golderman. So hey, a quick plug to Mr. Golderman. One of my favorite people in the whole wide world. Although I hope he's not watching anymore and he never hears me say that. This guy, a mentor of mine in the insurance space. He's a great leader. More importantly, a great human. And thanks for jumping on, Goldie.
You have another follower here too that knows me as well.
Well, hey there. Good morning. It's nice to see a few people. You went live in the LinkedIn world, evidently.
I did. And it's nice seeing some people coming in from other places. And it might be because of algorithms kind of thing, with the interaction with Facebook in the AGC group, which is more businessy. Yeah. And then LinkedIn being more businessy. Maybe there's a little digital connection there. I don't know how this stuff works. And nobody else really does.
Yeah, it's great. Well, it's good. It's good. Anytime we can give AGC and Brad a little bit of exposure. And you know what? We like to talk about some decent things, I think. We talk about business a little bit. We talk about gratitude. We talk about a lot of different things. And I'm so glad we've been consistent about this almost every Thursday for a couple years.
It's been getting there. It's kind of pretty cool.
It is. It's real cool. And for those that aren't following Brad, Brad recently has he's shared some phenomenal magic in TikTok and Facebook world. He's incredibly gifted. I've watched some of them over and over, and I just cannot figure out how he does it. So it's great entertainment. It's short. It's sweet, right? It's coins. It's this and that. I don't know how you do what you do, but you're really good at it.
Well, it started out as a hobby, and then I did it all through the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and I did it full time, and it just kind of burned me out from doing it and chasing the event planners. But I think it's good to have hobbies, so I took up a new hobby, and this is what it is.
Say what?
I'm going to collect stamps.
Look at that.
But this book is it's blank, so there's no lines or anything. I put the stamps and they get all crooked. So I wish I would have bought a different one, or I could go like that and
get out of town.
Like some lines. That's what it is. And then
I
gave me
didn't
all
know
these
you were.
stamps with it too. I got all these stamps so I can put them in there. See? Now I'm done. The hobby's over. Now what am I
I don't
going
know how
to do?
you do what you do, but that was a surprise. I didn't know you were going down that path today.
It's just sitting here. I thought I'd show it off.
It's just sitting there. All right.
Oh, my
So,
stars.
what are we talking about today?
Well, where was that little graphic that I put up here? We're talking about this. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I was watching another magician today, and he was talking about the law of attraction. And there was the thing he was talking about is affiliate marketing, and he was selling these. They call them feng shui bracelets.
Okay.
Little bracelet, and he's obviously not interested in that feng shui thing because it's maybe too little woo-woo for him or whatever. So he was kind of dissing the law of attraction and all that.
Oh.
And I can see why someone would do that, because when The Secret came out and they were talking about the law of attraction, it was more about, focus your mind, focus your mind, focus your mind. And
yeah,
oh my God, there's a Lamborghini in my driveway. How did that happen? It doesn't work that way. Magic doesn't really happen. You got to kind of do something to make it appear as though it happens.
Right. Okay.
So you have to take action on these things. And if you have a function, because about feng shui?
A little bit, very minimal, right?
It gets in depth like everything does, but the basic essence of it is placement of stuff in your home. And here's an example: is the home that my brother designed that he still lives in now over in Fridley, about a mile away from my house in Fridley. As soon as you walk in, it goes downstairs.
Okay,
that's not good feng shui.
That's not okay.
You're scared the hell out of you. Hey, how's it going? Whoa! So that's the essence of feng shui. It's not really some spiritual woo-woo kind of thing. You can blend into that, but it's just design. So this guy was razzing the whole the feng shui bracelet, but I'm sure you've got certain clothes that feel good when you're wearing it versus not so good.
Yeah,
you prefer to wear the ones that make you feel good.
Yep,
it helps.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So that's kind of what the law of attraction is. If you put your mind in a positive space, and like we talk about the giving before you receive, that's a law of physics.
Mm-hmm.
For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction, or like a force in motion tends to stay in motion. Yeah. So you're really good at being upbeat and positive all the time. I sometimes whine a little bit, but it's get that mind straight, and then like bridging into this software that we talk about, MailBoxPower, you can automate some of that stuff. So even if you're in a crummy mood during the day, your automated brownies may be going out to somebody's birthday that makes them happy.
That is correct. You're correct. And I think it's worth since that was the topic, right? And so a little background. I don't normally have a clue what we're going to talk about each Thursday. Brad kind of comes up with an infographic and maybe our topic. And generally it centers around gratitude and giving and things like that, right? But it's worth clarification, right? There's intentionality in there. So if you're giving only to receive, it doesn't really work. You give to give. And it doesn't, because inevitably you can receive in the back end, right? But you do, if you go into like, I better get something out of this. If I'm sending this, I'm doing this, I better get some out. It doesn't really work.
Your friend Steve says Bo is my go-to guide when I need a mental course correction.
So I have to admit, and I should confess, it's not fair because I often just lay Golderman out and say that nobody does less with more. I mean, this guy is the underachiever extraordinaire. And that's not nice to say. And I should stop saying that, right? But he has tons of gifts and he shares them and gives them. And he makes me smile all the time. I'm not certain he's my moral compass, but I have beaten him in wrestling. So there's that. We'll move on from Golden at this point. But yeah, you just have to have right intentions, right?
Well,
so
I think
just not just, you don't just give to get it.
They overcomplicate the law of attraction kind of thing. It just kind of makes sense when you push stuff out. Like in the magic world, there's a known method called a jam auction.
Okay.
And they do this in Las Vegas where, they got all these gifts and they start giving you all these things.
Okay.
And pretty soon you start feeling guilty because they're giving you all this stuff. So you feel obligated to do. They do it with the neuro-linguistic type of persuasion for timeshares.
Sure.
We brought you down here. We put you up in the room. We gave you these meals and everything. The least you could do is sign your name on this contract.
Right. That's funny. That's the second time today that timeshares were brought up in my previous meeting I was at before this.
Well, it's unfortunate because it's probably a nice thing to do is have a timeshare and enjoy yourself. I know a guy that's got, he's no longer alive, but he had a timeshare down there in the tropical islands, and they love it. They loved it. They go down there and enjoy themselves, but there are some sleazy people that trying to get you in these contracts.
Yeah. No, you're right. And there can be some incredible presentations, right? But there shouldn't be any guilting, right? That you feel obligated. No, that's the process. We're going to give you a free night stay, or we're going to give you 3 nights stay, or we're going to give you this free dinner. Then there should be no guilt. I showed up. That's what you told me what the premise was. And in the end, I'm not interested. I don't know. But
I think it boils down to the salesperson, and they're sitting there, and who knows, maybe the guy was doing really good. So he bought a new car and bought a new house, and all of a sudden not doing so good. So he's kind of like, geez, I got to get some money here. I'm going to talk these guys into buying one of these timeshares because I got to pay my rent. My wife is going to divorce me. Yeah. So if they get pushed into a corner, that's what happens, I guess. So, but to me, you should be responsible for your own actions, and just, don't get sucked into that stuff. Use your head.
Yeah, that's right. But there's some incredible sales tactics, like you said. There's the neuro linguistics. There's all the great ways of positioning a buying opportunity, and it's not to be abused. Well,
like as an example, we'll do this one right here. Where in the heck did it go?
What do you got there?
Well, this one is yours. This is your website for the MailBoxPower.
Yeah. So let me give a quick plug on that, right? Yeah. And I don't talk about that a whole lot, but a little over a year ago, a buddy of mine who owns a marketing firm called Vivid Image here in Hutchinson, they've had him and his wife and several employees. Just a phenomenal organization. You want to talk about an organization that understands culture, that understands leadership, developing people, and incredible customer service and experience. It's Vivid Image. And I had the opportunity to have Steve and his team build a website for me that was like a landing page that tells a little bit about me and a little bit about MailBoxPower and that, with links over to the system that we both use, right? And so I took him up on the opportunity to do that, and it's been a really cool thing. That's where my birthday club lands. So if you go to birthdaybybo.com, you can self-enroll in one of the greatest birthday programs in the history of ever, and it'll end up sending you something special. Maybe a couple times a year.
Just right? Like every person is different. Your approach is you got more of a website set up here with the better appreciation.
Yeah.
What I ended up doing is I just have a landing page, and here's the psychological element of the thing is I don't want anybody to go to this.
What just happened here? That's why you're showing it?
That makes people want to go to it. It just does.
Don't go there. So you go there, right?
That's what happens.
That's the worst.
Anyways.
This trickery that you have. Yeah. No, you want people to check it out, right? We both have used this platform in different ways. I was on a call yesterday with several people in the insurance world. On Tuesday. And I was asked to share some of the things that I do. And that was an example of a system that I use that's outside that allows me to connect on a different level and create emotional connections with people. And I've shared this before, but I give an example of a client that came in and she'd been loyal to our company long before my time with the company for 50 plus years, and sat down with my coworker and wasn't real thrilled that the rate was going up because of coverage and cost of construction, all that stuff. And they had a visit, and we sent her just a thank you package right before Thanksgiving is when this was. And it was a couple of brownies with their name on it. And it was a card, and we had it signed by all of us. And when someone in their 80s calls your office and says, I can only hope to make someone feel as appreciated as you made me feel sometime before I die. That was a package of brownies and a card for a customer who's given over 50 years of premium to a company with hardly any claims, and the loyalty. That's the least we could do, right? And so that is a very powerful system that allows you to create that kind of a reaction. So we love it. We talk about it. And I have just so many countless examples of people that have received something, and there's this shout out about it. And I'm not doing it to get them to go to social media, but inevitably sometimes it happens. Yeah. Right. But the biggest key is I want to lift their day up, and I want I want to show appreciation for the fact that they continue to stay loyal to our company, to my team, all that. So it's a great tool for those in insurance, real estate, sales, all that.
Some people will use the argument that, yeah, but that's not as personalized when you do it digitally like that. But in this situation with all this crazy COVID-y stuff going on, the ease of doing it via the internet, it's kind of like a live meeting, I'd like to have coffee with you, but I might get COVID. So instead we'll do a Zoom.
Yeah, that's right.
You can do it. It's kind of an accepted thing these days. Everybody's on the internet talking, messaging, emailing. Yeah. So I think it's okay to be a little bit impersonal.
And I will tell you that, and we've talked about that. So there's automation capabilities, but also uses personalization. So the automizer, if you will. So even though something might go out without me giving a whole lot of thought, or it's an automated process for, say, a birthday, or I just add a name and address to a list, and they get something in the mail that's personalized. It has their name and all that. But even if it isn't the most incredibly creative, it's not a photo of them, it's not something incredibly personal. The reality is that we continue to have the discussion about a lot of people are hurting. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of challenge. There's a lot of disruption in life right now. And when you come home and you go to your mailbox and you have a package from someone, and that package lifts you out of the crumminess of your day. Yes. And it's not a bill. And I was thinking of you probably a week ago when this was shipped, but I was thinking of you, and now I'm thinking of you. I'm making you think of me, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It is so incredibly powerful. And it doesn't have to be a big thing. It could be a card. It could be a greeting card, right? It could be a postcard. It could be a personalized video and not anything you spent money on. There's a lot of ways to just lean into people's day and just try to lift them out of kind of the funk that we all deal with every day.
It's true. And this depression thing, it creeps up on you. I mean, I'm an introverted guy, so I like being by myself.
Yeah.
But sometimes you sit down, you're by yourself. My wife's in her office, and I'm like, start getting in a funk. That's why it's really cool that you and I get together once a week. I get somebody to talk to, a human person, instead of a.
It's important. I have a niece of mine and she's a social worker, and she shared a thing she's down in Iowa, and she shared a thing just a couple days ago it just stopped me in my tracks. So Polk County Health Department in Polk County, Iowa, had released January's statistics, and if I read it right, it was the worst January in history for suicides. That's not a good sign. And it's likely probably following a bad December and a bad November. So it's just one example. We're talking from really young to older. And it's sad. It's just devastating. So we know that there's a lot of people that just need someone to hear them. They need to be acknowledged. They need to be show people, they want to feel appreciated. They want to know that they're valued, that they bring something to the world. And so it doesn't have to be a magical brownie or a gift or anything, but let's, for the sake of just have a little humanity today and go with some grace and try to make people smile if you can,
Well, that kind of thing. I mean, you don't want to go down the road of depression and all that kind of thing, but that situation, even if something was automated, it was automated brownies or something, and a person sitting there and they're going, you know what, I'm kind of done with this. And they go check their mailbox one last time, and all of a sudden there's a gift, and it changes their mindset, and they decide not to take their life.
You never know.
It's a pretty impactful brownie,
Yeah. That'd be magic. Yeah. And that's without even, put it in the microwave for 10 seconds and make that chocolate chip kind of melt a little bit, right?
I like to do that when I sign off my things. I tell people to be nice because, I don't know, I get on the social media stuff, and there's always these people that are left or right, and they're having fights, and they're calling names, and it's really sad that's happening. And so it's nice to give some warm fuzzies for a while.
It is. We talked about this for a second last week. I talked about my wife and her trip out to Homeboy Industries and Father Greg Boyle. Yeah. And, she's been wearing her gear. She's basically like a walking billboard for that organization, which is cool. She bought all kinds of swag. But one of the things that he says, it's not them and us. It's just us. And it kind of looks like from afar justice, but it's just us. It's all of us together, right? So, yeah. I'm not big on judging. I'm not big on like we versus they. I don't like it. you know.
Well, it doesn't work. I mean, I've talked about that with my concept of collaboration, the whole concept of competition. And I say, if your mother and father competed, you would not be here.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, you've also, you've always, I've always grasped that 1 + 1 is 11 from you. That to me, that multiplier. I've liked that. I've really liked
He's
that.
got something for you here. Oh, that's a good friend.
Sorry, Goldie. Yeah, it's just heartbreaking. And, you know, we don't normally take it down this path, but I had a client in my office yesterday, and this guy, man, he always, when he comes in, he always lifts us up, right? That's what I feel like. When he leaves, we feel better after being around him. And he was struggling yesterday. He's had a tough past. He's been in the prison system more than once, but for the last several years, he's done really well, and he gives back and he takes care of people. And he just lost an uncle last week. A couple weeks before that, he had lost another family member. I mean, he's had a tough run. His wife's not doing real well with her health. He's dealing with that, but he's the same guy that when he gets a call saying somebody's struggling right now, we need you, and he just drops everything and goes. That's who he is. That's what he does. It's his purpose in life. He knows that. And he was just, you know, almost in tears, like, this man, things are really, really hard right now for him and for literally almost everybody he knows. And you just wanted to put that out there, that we have just got to realize that everybody's got some pain right now in their story. And if we could just treat each other with a little more white gloves, it'd be better, you know? So
just like that.
There you go. And just give a little bit of yourself. It might be a smile. It might be a little bit of a hug. It might be a fist bump. It might be whatever, but just, man, I think if we just appreciate everybody else's story, it's a better place. So, Goldie, I'm sorry to hear about your buddy, and you stay the course, my friend. Stay the course.
Well, with that, I'm going to put you in the green room, my friend, and I'll come and visit with you. But we've gone for 22 minutes and 25 seconds. So,
cheers. Thank you for the visit.
Well, that was fun again, and that's what it's all about. It's about giving. It's just, you know, if you give like this, if I kept on giving and pouring more and more, eventually it overflows and there's abundance if you just kind of start giving love. That's all I got to say. So for those of you that are listening in from AGC, or if you're not, join agc.com. That's where it happens. And if you want to know more about me, Google MagicBrad. If you want to find out, you just Google Bo. We'll find him. Look for me. I'll turn you on to him. So peace, love, and happiness. MagicBrad signing off. Be good, be kind, be nice. Be nice.